Hello, my name is Enoch Stokes. This is the first of several recordings on the subject of the brain. I'm going to be sharing with you the amazing reality of how your brain works, especially in relation to community and to spirituality, because you see, your brain processes information which is needed for you to have any consciousness of community or spirituality. So, knowing how the brain works, especially in these modern, stressful times, with such a huge amount of knowledge, often conflicting, you absolutely have to understand how the brain works in order to have successful experiences in community or spirituality. So, let's begin. There's going to be a chart here that you're going to see in the lower right part of your screen, and it's going to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So as you can see now, I'm drawing a circle, and this circle now has a line bisecting it. This refers to the right brain and the left brain. So the right brain has 4 levels to it: the thalamus, the amygdala, the cingulate cortex, and the right orbital prefrontal cortex. All the information that comes in through your 5 senses, through taste, smell, touch, hearing, and sight, processes through the thalamus first, then the amygdala, then the cingulate cortex, and then the right orbital prefrontal cortex. So, this is how this works. The thalamus is your bonding center. It controls your sense of connection to people. If this is working, you will feel attached reasonably well to whoever you meet, and you will feel very attached to personal friends and family members. If it's not working, you won't feel fully attached to anybody, and you will discover to your surprise and horror that the other functions higher up in the brain will fail to work, as in being able to live in joy at the level of the amygdala, as in being able to synchronize with other people's negative emotions and energy states, as in the cingulate cortex. This can have 8 energy states, or a combination of more than one, just like you have primary and secondary and tertiary colors. The 8 energy states are the 6 negative emotions plus the 2 positive states: shame, hopeless despair, fear, disgust, anger, sadness. That's 6. And then the 2 happy states of peace and joy. The last 2, of course, are the ones that you want. And you can experience those if the levels below it are working well, and if your cingulate cortex has been properly trained. So, let's go to the 4th level, the right orbital prefrontal cortex. This is your personality, your habits, your natural ways of behaving, your way of being yourself, acting like yourself. If this is not working, which could be due to not being trained, or which could be due to that lack of connection at level 1, also called the thalamus, you're going to have a problem. And that problem will be, you won't know how to behave in situations that come your way. You won't be able to synchronize with others emotionally. You won't be able to live in joy. You'll be stuck in a state of fear, or in a state where you think everything is bad. This can cause a lot of problems. The thalamus, if that goes out, you're basically crazy. You basically don't have a sense of connection to humanity. This explains many mental illnesses. So, I'll repeat for your learning that each of these levels only works well if the ones below it are working. So basically you have 2 things. Number 1, these levels all have to be on through healthy permanent attachments. And number 2, they have to be trained, and if they're not trained, it's still possible to train them in adulthood. The 2 encouraging things to know are: number 1, neuroplasticity, which in a state of joy is increased. Any part of your brain, scientists are discovering, seems to be able to regrow. There's people who've taken drugs who are able to get over the effects by living in joy over a period of time, their brain creates new dendrites, new pathways. And the second thing to know is the epigenome. By your thoughts, your choices, your actions, your experiences, your feelings, and your words, the 6 influencers, you are able to change your DNA because based upon those 6 things, your epigenome is always updating your DNA. You can upgrade it or you can downgrade it if you have a experience that is not healthy or if you make negative choices or use negative words, etc. So do things that will upgrade your DNA. It's always upgradable and improvable. Or there's other things that will downgrade it. Those are the ones that you want to avoid. So, you, so thank you for listening, and I hope that this first tidbit is an inspiration to you. Thank you very much.